Hi everyone, my name is Grace and I'm a librarian here in McAllen Public Library, and I'd like to welcome you to Book Talk number 8. But before I get to that, I just want to say I hope everyone is having a great break from work or school, that you are having a wonderful Christmas today and you have had a wonderful Hanukkah. And tomorrow is the start of Kwanzaa, so I hope you have a happy Kwanzaa as well. Today for Book Talk, I want to talk about my favorite books of the year, my credentials. Well, I reviewed 26 books, 19 of them were audiobooks, and I'm a librarian. So for sci-fi, which is my favorite genre, the first book is This Is How You Lose the Time War. It's the future and it's technology versus nature. They both have the ability to time travel. Two women agents from these opposing factions are supposed to be sabotaging and killing each other, but instead they're exchanging letters, learning about each other, and eventually falling in love. Read this if you're in the mood for poetic, musical writing. You're in a mood for a love story and an interesting time travel plot. My second book recommendation for sci-fi is All Systems Red. This is one of my favorite audiobooks. It's about a robot who has managed to hack into its own system, so it has its own free will and it's not government controlled. All it wants to do is watch hours and hours of soap operas, but it has to appear normal, so it takes on these bodyguard security jobs so that people think it's a normal robot. It is sarcastic, gloomy, socially awkward, and insecure, but many times it is more human than the humans in the story. Read this if you're in the mood for a space novel, you like robots, action, and some very good dry humor. For graphic novels, I chose A Man and His Cat. It's about two lonely characters. One is a recently widowed man, and the other one is a cat who seems too ugly to adopt, but he's actually adorable. And they find each other and they make each other whole. If you're a cat lover or animal lover, you cannot miss this one. For horror, I chose two books again. The first one is Mexican Gothic. It's set in the 1950s, Mexico. Noemi is a young socialite and she is sent to a small abandoned mining town to check up on her cousin who recently got married to some handsome Englishman. If you like Gothic literature, haunted houses, creepy settings, where you question the sanity of the characters and sometimes your own sanity, then this book is for you. The second book I'd like to recommend in horror is The Only Good Indians. It's about 4 Blackfeet Indian men who cross and hunt in this area that they are not allowed to be on. On top of that, they shoot a whole herd of elk. Years later, something is coming after them, one by one. Read this if you like Indian folklore, revenge stories, and stories about crossing the line and paying for it dearly. My favorite audiobook of the year is actually Dominicana, and the narrator is Coral Pena, and she just brings this book to life with her narration and her voice. The story is an immigration story of a young girl from Dominican Republic who marries and moves to New York, and she struggles and finally finds her voice and independency. Read, but listen. I highly recommend listening to this if you're looking for an authentic Latinx immigration story written by a Latinx author. This book is actually based on the author's mother's experience. My favorite fiction of the year is Songs of Achilles, and it is a retelling of Homer's Iliad, a Greek mythology. It's about Achilles and his downfall and the Battle of Troy. He is the greatest warrior of Greece. He's half human, half god, and it is told in the perspective of Patroclus. It is told from the perspective of Patroclus, who is Achilles' lover and soulmate. Read this if you enjoy Greek mythology, love stories, action, passion. This one has a little bit of everything. For nonfiction, I chose Between the World and Me by Ta-Nehisi Coates. It is an intimate letter to his son about being Black in America, which includes his thoughts, feelings, and history. It's a fantastic, eye-opening book or audiobook and a necessary read. Read this if you want to understand a little bit more about America, about racism, and the genuine fear of Black parents who want their children to survive. Please check out our playlist if you ever find yourself wondering what to read next. We have over 50 book recommendations handpicked by our reference staff. Every book I mention here, I will provide links to the physical book, to the ebook, to the eAudio below. Thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, follow, subscribe. See you next year for episode number 9. Bye.